In this video I'm going to share with you a very neat and simple way of taking terrific product shots without hardly spending any money. That's assuming, of course, that you already have the camera and flashes. You probably do, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. This is very much a DIY product. What I'm about to show you can be made really easily and quickly. I'm going to start off by photographing this aging Olympus OM10 film SLR. It's actually quite a complex product to photograph because we've got some dark leather bits that soak up the lens and chrome and glass bits which are highly reflective. I'm going to use this box. It's made out of special photographic cardboard. No, not really. I'm just being silly. It's a plain old cardboard box that you find lying around the house or you can pick up from a supermarket. It's about 12 inches by 18 inches all round, and I've cut two large windows in it on either side using a standing knife, leaving about an inch all round. Now I've left the flaps on as well because they're going to act as kind of gobos to hide the flash and prevent any flare getting back into the lens. Now I've covered up the two windows with tracing paper. This is going to diffuse the flashes and act as a kind of softbox. You can use a plain lightweight copy paper or ripstop nylon. The flashes will be very close, so they're going to be on low power. So it doesn't matter if you use plain white paper and you have to raise the flash power a little. But I've used normal tracing paper. It's not special photographic tracing paper. As far as I know, such a thing doesn't exist. Just don't use any type of coloured paper or material. So this is my studio. Inside the box I'm going to place a piece of white card that I bought from a craft shop. It came in a large A1 sheet and I just cut it to fill the space. It's going to become a seamless background so you won't see the horizon. Large studios call that an infinity background, where you don't see corners, horizons or edges. So I'll just place the white card inside the box like so. I've sellotaped the top and the bottom of it just so that it stays in place. Depending on how tight a fit it is and how stiff the card is, you might have to sellotape the card edges to keep it in position like I just did. And now I'll just place the camera inside the box. I'll set it at an angle. For the light, I'm going to be using my Yongnuo 560 and an SB600. I'm using the manual mode so you can mix and match flash guns. They don't have to be the same model or even from the same manufacturer. I'll put one either side about 12 inches away so they're pointing into the box. I've got one set to 32 power, the other one set to 16 power. You don't really need a lot of light for this because they're so close, and I'm aiming to get an aperture of around f11 or f16. I've set the flash zoom so they're widest to make sure the light covers the whole window. Also, I'm going to be shooting in very close, so I want to have a wider depth of field to make sure everything is in focus. This is going to give us a nice smooth light, because these cut-out windows, although they're small, in relation to the subject, they're a large light source, so we should get nice transitions between the highlight and shadow areas. This is really easy to do. You can't really go wrong, and you can even make a larger box out of a refrigerator or washing machine box so you can photograph larger objects. I'm going to be using a Nikon 28-135 manual focus AIS lens. It's the only macro lens I own. It means I'll be focusing manually, but once I start I'll probably turn the Olympus camera at different angles, or I'll change the angle or position of the flashes to get the light just where I want it. There's not really any exact angles here, it's just a matter of shooting and seeing if you like it, maybe move things around until you're happy. So a bit of trial and error involved. So let's give it a try. Okay, I've got it set up. The camera settings are 2/50th of a second, f11, ISO 200, which is the minimum on this D300 camera. So let's give it a try. Okay, that's not a bad start. I think that might be a little bit too bright on the left of the camera, so I think I'll move the flash away from the box. So the left hand side, actually if I move it this way, all I've done is move the box over to the right. Also, I don't quite, it's a bit too much in shadow, isn't it, on the right hand side there, so I think I'll just move the flash around, maybe bring it round, pointing it more that way. I think I'd like to get a bit more light in the lens as well, so maybe move that there. Let's see how this looks now. I'm moving backwards and forwards because rather than focusing, it's a manual focus lens. I'm just moving backwards and forwards until it's in focus. That looks pretty nice. We've also got a little bit of reflection in the lens as well. I also picked up some of this cheap white glossy perspex, and I'm going to put that underneath the camera to try and get some reflection. Let's give that a try. Yeah, I can see the reflections. It's going to look nice. Looking at this image again while editing the video, I'm quite pleasantly surprised how well it turned out and how good the reflection looks, especially as the perspex was a last minute thought. I'd never actually used it before. It was an A3 piece of white glossy perspex. It's a shame I went in a little too tight and chopped off the top of the reflection at the bottom of the image. Ah well, no one's perfect. I'm now going to photograph these 3 coloured vases that my wife has kept lying around the house, and I like the look of the perspex just now with the Olympus camera so much that I'm going to keep it for this shot. Also, I've switched the white card inside to a black card because I just think it suits this type of object a little bit better. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to try and light one flash from the back and one flash from the front to get a kind of cross lighting and to get some kind of rim lighting on the glass. It's just a matter of trial and error really. Let's see how this looks. I'll probably shoot in portrait orientation because it's a taller object. It looks really good. These look great, these photos, don't they? Considering it's just a cheap DIY, put it together yourself type product. Especially with the Olympus OM10, the way we got a smooth light and shadow across the camera body there. I was really pleased with that. Be careful when cutting out the holes, by the way, for the windows with a Stanley knife. You can cut your fingers really easily. But it's very easy to make and set up, so give it a go and have a practice with it. As I said before, it's very much trial and error with the position of the flashes and the light output, the power output of the flashes. But give it a try, see how you get on. Bye for now.